It started in a basement. No glowing hacker cave. No elite server farm. Just a 16-year-old with an old laptop, a cracked phone screen, and a secret. He went by Lux, short for luxury. He once joked in a forum. But there was nothing luxurious about the cracked drywall and the constant buzz of the router he'd hotwired to reroute traffic through Iceland. Lux wasn't his real name, of course. The FBI still doesn't know that. What they do know is this. At the peak of his operation, Lux controlled over 100 servers in 17 countries. His product, an ultra-secure no-logs VPN, built not for privacy enthusiasts or journalists, but for criminals, arms dealers, crypto launders, fraudsters, even insiders. Lux had found a niche, and he owned it. His service was bulletproof, end-to-end encrypted, no email required, payable only in Monero. And it worked too well. The idea came at 14. After a late-night binge of hacking documentaries and a Reddit rabbit hole on Tor, he wasn't interested in breaking into banks. He wanted to build infrastructure. Quiet power, the kind that didn't need a gun. While his classmates were taking driving tests, Lux was learning about DNS leaks, exit nodes, and metadata obfuscation. By the time he turned 15, he was coding back-end logic for a VPN service he named Phantom Layer. He hosted the servers on compromised infrastructure, untraceable cloud instances, some even stolen from universities. At first, Phantom Layer was small, a dark web banner ad here, a forum plug there. Word of mouth took care of the rest. He charged a premium, $500 a year. Triple the price of commercial VPNs. But Phantom Layer didn't market to average users. It was for people who needed to disappear, and they did. Transactional email providers stopped trying to trace its users. Data analysts gave up. Phantom Layer became a ghost in the network. Then someone used it to coordinate a ransomware attack on a US defense contractor. That's when the FBI got involved. They didn't know Lux's age. They didn't even know he was American. All they knew was that Phantom Layer had become the go-to cloak for digital ghosts, and one of them had just brought a billion-dollar defense firm to its knees. At Quantico, Lux's file grew thick with screenshots, packet captures, and a single note in red ink. Find the operator. Do not engage publicly. But Lux had anticipated this. He had read the playbooks, watched what happened to other hackers. Dread Pirate Roberts, Hansa, Alphabet, they all made one mistake. Centralization. Lux didn't have a single point of failure. Servers were decentralized. Control panels ephemeral. Payments scattered across wallet clusters with randomized seed phrases. And his core code split across multiple machines in different time zones, each encrypted with a key stored in his mind, one he called the mnemonic deadbolt. There was no master password, only memory. Still, the FBI had a lead, a mistake, a moment of weakness. 2 a.m. on a rainy Tuesday. Lux pushed an update from a home IP. It was meant to be a quick patch, a security fix to prevent a leak from a new Windows update. He used a local network to upload the commit. The transfer took 3 minutes. He thought the obfuscation layer would hide it. It didn't. 6 weeks later, a silent knock came at a suburban house in Oregon. But the house was empty. No routers, no wires, just a dust ring where a laptop had once sat. He was gone. Lux had been watching. He knew the second the ping returned from Quantico's subnet. He had triggers set across multiple nodes. If any of them received a query from known law enforcement CIDRs, it would detonate a digital deadman's switch, wiping the node, sending encrypted alerts, and redirecting all traffic through fallback mirrors in Bulgaria. Lux wasn't just ahead. He was miles away. By 17, he had vanished from the US, slipping through customs with a forged Estonian passport and a silent cryptocurrency fund big enough to buy citizenship in 2 countries. In Prague, he lived in the shadows, running Phantom layer from burner laptops and underground cafes. In Sofia, he rented an apartment under a false name and built a new relay network using hardware he bought in cash. In Tbilisi, he moved again. And then, just like that, Phantom Layer went dark. No warning, no shutdown message, just silence. Forum threads filled with panic. Where's Lux? Is Phantom dead? Anyone heard from the admin? The FBI was sure he was gone. Either arrested abroad, killed, or finally tired of the game. But in truth, Lux had already moved on. Phantom Layer had been a prototype, a proof of concept for something bigger. He called it Spectre OS. It wasn't just a VPN, it was a full operating system built for anonymity. A plug-and-play USB stick that turned any device into a ghost. Machine no traces, no logs, no MAC address retention. It launched from RAM, wiped itself on exit, and included built-in obfuscation tools for voice, image, and keystroke masking. It was elegant, deadly, and it was free. Lux released it under an alias on GitHub, cloaked as an open-source privacy project. Within weeks, it was downloaded 200,000 times. Journalists praised it. Activists used it. So did criminals. No one knew it came from a teenager who once dodged the FBI in his pajamas. He'd already disappeared by then. No digital footprint, no face, not even a trace in passport databases. Some say he fled to Iceland. Others say he died in a snowstorm outside Minsk. One theory claims he lives in a commune in New Zealand, coding on a solar-powered laptop, watching the digital world burn. But every now and then, something strange happens. A new privacy tool appears, out of nowhere, with signature coding style. A zero-day exploit is patched in seconds before anyone even knows it's live. A closed forum thread mentions a ghost admin who speaks in base 64 encoded riddles. And still, Phantom Layer remains offline. To this day, no one knows who Lux really was. Not the FBI, not the forums, not even the people he helped. But what they do know is this: a teenager with no formal training built a global privacy empire, slipped through the fingers of the most powerful intelligence agency on Earth, and disappeared like a shadow, leaving behind only questions. And maybe that was the point.